stupid. I mean, he was a very safe pair of hands in his heat.
It's just...
I mean, Marcel Lusk has called there to trying to make a big pot if he had a big flop. He got the big flop, but no big pot.
Well, it's a sign of the greatness of Marcel Lusk that he had no luck whatsoever in his heat, and he's come into this. You know, a lot of players would like to just play themselves in very quietly, but Marcel's got busy with the Queen 6 straight away. You know, the great players aren't afraid to look stupid. You know. So you know, if the Queen 6 play goes wrong, you know, you can look like a novice, but that's not going to bother Marcel.
The Dutch captain saying he's got a few tricks up the sleeve, and it looks like, of the two teams, the Netherlands is prepared to gamble a little bit early here. Maybe they feel like this first level is good to set a tone.
Well, you know, with the blinds at the first level at 1-1 as opposed to 1-2, as we've been used to in a lot of TV poker, Jesse, there's, you know, you get to see even a raise pot at the 1-1 an awful lot cheaper, and generally speaking, the raise is to 3,000 rather than kind of 6,000 we're used to. So it puts a lot more play into this, which is made for some great TV.
Well, Marcel Lusk may have been trapping with those 8s, but Martin Smith's got a hand as well. Smith is raised from the big blind, and we've got a pair against the overcards. And this could be a very dangerous flop for Marcel.
Bet checked.
Marty Smith playing it a little conservatively.
Lusk has a flush draw and only one overcard to the board, and Martin Smith has top pair.
But Lusk is entitled to think he's in front here after the check from Marty. Marty gave Marcel a chance to come out betting here on the turn. He wasn't to know that Marcel was as strong as he is. But I think this is an easy call for Martin.
Call it. It might be a raise, Mark.
Well, he might just wait and see does the diamond come.
He has called. Here's the river card. Lusk needs an 8 or a diamond, and he's hit the 8.
This is a little bit of trouble for Marty. I don't think he's going to lose an awful lot of chips here, but it's almost...
Oh my, Park. Oh no.
12,000.
Martin Smith has fallen head first into this one.
Well, he's made a pot-sized bet. But it could be an easy enough pass with the King-Jack here.
Martin Smith's heart just leaped into his throat. Lusk has announced raise. How much?
I'd say Marcel would probably raise about 20,000 here. He doesn't want to overprice it. And he'd be very anxious to get a few chips early on.
20,000 more, 32 total.
Oh,
I see the old earpiece is working good.
You know, Parg, if these Northern Irish players were watching the first round match of Netherlands, they might have disregarded Marcel as not too dangerous. How wrong they were.
Well, the last time I disregarded Marcel Lusk, it cost me 2,600. It's not going to happen again. You know, Martin Smith's good enough to get away from this. You know, he can really only beat a bluff here with the King-Jack. You know, it's not like Marcel's going to be raising him with Jack-Queen here. You know, Marcel's either got something very big or absolutely nothing.
I mean, Parg, one of the scariest things in poker is when you try and make a value bet on the river, and then you find out that the one thing that you didn't want to happen has happened.
Yeah, we've been through this before with the Norwegians, I think. I think their Captain Henning was a lovely fella, made a value raise on the river.
Well, if Martin Smith calls this and loses, it's really debilitating to his stack and Northern Ireland's chances.
Well, this is exactly what he's thinking, Jesse. I mean, I think he's... again, he's taken a bit of a lead from his captain. That he's not doing anything too quickly. He's quite prepared to think the whole thing through. You know, what happens if I call and lose? What happens if I call and win?
Well, he might be, if he wants to think about where he made the mistake, he might be going all the way back to, I woke up at 7 a.m.
And rather than turn around like a normal man and go back to sleep. Oh.
He's calling, and Marcel Lusk is going to show the full house. It was a very tricky hand.
Well, you know, it's easy from up here, Jesse, but Marcel was maybe trading on his reputation there.
Trying to make that look like a bluff.
And Martin Smith has paid the price for getting a little greedy on the end. Perhaps the full house on the river.
It was a pretty good bet with the King-Jack. I'm not too sure I like the call, but I like the bet with the King-Jack.
So first pot has gone to the Netherlands.
I thought this was the amount you would.
You know, with the range of accents we have here, these guys might have trouble
Pass.
understanding each other.
I don't understand any of them, but I'm even having a bit of a problem with Mad Marty.
Raise
Well, look at
4,000
this.
more, final
Norman
total.
Whiteside showing some beautiful aggression here against Glenn Helder
No, pass.
and taking the pot before the flop.
Well, you know, I'd say he pushed one or two of the Dutch around in the schoolboy match.
Je moet bedenken dat je geld onder stroom staat.
Now, Andy Black was telling us a little earlier that, that he's around about the same vintage as Norman, and when Andy was going to school in Belfast when he was 12 or 13 years old, that everybody had already heard of Norman Whiteside, that he was already a legend at 12. I mean, it may have been a surprise to the people in Manchester when he burst into the Manchester United team, but nobody in Belfast was in the least bit surprised.
Hey, gentlemen, one and one, please.
Norman Whiteside has about par, 100,000. That's what he started with. And he's picked up his pots without contention.
Now, Norman managed to finish third in his heat, which was a pretty good going.
Pass.
He outlasted all the Italian professionals. It wasn't very difficult.
Raise to 3,000
I could have
total.
outlasted one or two of them myself.
Buchan,
Sorry, Mr. Greco.
Pass.
Buchan getting busy with the ace-9
Pass.
and called by his teammate.
Okay, re-raise.
In fact, re-raised by his
Three more,
teammate,
6
Whiteside, who's making a strong statement.
Well, I think he's been coached by the team. He was asking me before the thing, what does all in mean? Said in Noah's
Pass.
case, it might mean he hasn't got very much.
Yeah, actually, pardon me, Park, it's not his teammate. Whiteside has re-raised Noah Buchan.
I knew that.
And interestingly enough, the
Oh.
re-raise was very inviting. It was about a minimum re-raise. And if Buchan catches an ace on the board, he's going to be in trouble.
Oh, continuation
6,000.
bet from Norman. I like this.
It's very professional,
Well,
Park.
he wasn't going to check into Buchan and give him a chance to bluff him, because it's much easier to bet an ace-queen in this circumstance than it is to call with it. It's a very nice play from Norman.
Just a wind-up here from Noah, or can he sense that Norman is not strong?
He's having a bit of a think about it, which is more than he did in his heat.
You have to figure the move, if Noah could make it, would succeed, but he'd need psychic abilities. I mean,
Well, ace-king is one of the hands that Norman Whiteside could very easily have here. And king-king is another one of them.
so Whiteside showing the re-raise before the flop. Very professional style there, and it's succeeded. What a quick study Norman is.
Well, he got the re-raise in, and he made the continuation bet. For a guy who didn't know to play Hold'em a couple of weeks ago, things are coming along in leaps and bounds.
Buchan has stacked his chips in a very unique fashion. And I think that shows that
But he had anything else to do.
I mean, if that's not a statement of playing tight, I don't know what is. I mean,
Well, you know, a lot of times if you're watching a guy play around with his chips, you can learn quite a lot from his play. I mean, the more organised the chips are, the tighter the guy is liable to be playing. You know, his natural game is liable to be tight. I normally have them in a mess myself, which says quite a lot about my game.
I don't think Buchan enjoys being roped in. He can't wait till the gloves come off. I think he might take them off himself.
I think he's waiting for Marcel to get knocked out so he can start to play.
You know, Noah loved having that armband.
Oh yeah, I think he slept in it.
Here it comes.
Okay, 4,000 now raised.
Glenn Helder, not a big
Total.
raise, but a raise all the
Pass.
same. King Jack suited.
You know, the Irish pros were wearing their shirts in the hotel last night. They were going to, they were making sure everybody knew who they were. A little bit of pride.
And Marcel has absolutely nothing.
Pass. Pass.
It's 2,000 on Noah. It's his teammate that's raised.
Call.
And he'll call. Ace. Does Tate want to make a 2-on-1? Hello. Re-raise here, Park.